Hello, welcome to another episode here at Big Man in the Woods. We're doing another episode of What's the Point? And in this one, we're talking about the Scout Law and the Promise. It's all here on Big Man in the Woods.
I promise that I'll do my best to do my duty to God and the Queen, to help other people and to keep the Cub Scout law.
On my honour, I promise I'll do my best to do my duty to God and to the Queen, to help other people and to keep the Scout law. So that's the Scout Promise I say. There's a variety of Scout promises for religion reasons, and if you're not religious, there's a different variety of Scout promises. And let's put them up on the screen. So what is it actually meant to be? Let's go through them. On my honour, I promise I'll do my best. So basically means every day you just try and do your best. Sometimes you can't do your best, but it's just trying to do your best. To do my duty to God and to the Queen. Okay, so if you're not religious, to the God and to the Queen, it doesn't mean your particular God. It could be any kind of God. So it's just saying that you're a respect of people. Okay, so for me, it's the Queen of England, and I'll do my very best to help the country and do self-respect kind of thing, and do what's best for the country, more or less, okay? And to keep the Scout Law. What is the Scout Law? Well, there's 7 points of the Scout Law, isn't it? And we'll go through it in a few seconds. And it's just meaning that every day we'll go through the Scout Law in our head and try and keep to that every single day. To be an honest, trustworthy Scout and just trying to be a good citizen, isn't it? It's all about, okay, we can't be good all the time, but we'll try and do our very best to be good and to help others. So that is the meaning for me of the Scout Promise, of always trying to be a good Scout no matter what. But let's look at the law. So in the UK, there's 7 laws, okay? A Scout is to be trusted. A Scout is loyal. A Scout is friendly and considerate. A Scout belongs to the worldwide Scouting family. A Scout has courage in all difficulties. A Scout makes good use of his time and is careful of possessions and property. A Scout has self-respect and respects others. So there's the 7 Scouting laws. We recite them every week at Scouts. But what do they actually mean? Do we know what they mean? And do we follow them on a daily basis? Let's have a quick go through them. So a Scout is to be trusted. I think it's plain and simple, isn't it? Let's not tell lies. We'll do our best. And just to be a good citizen, isn't it? And try and be good for our family, our work colleagues, our friends at school, family. I think it's plain and simple what that means. A Scout is loyal. Absolutely. As Scouts, we need to look after ourselves. We need to look after our Scouting family, our friends, whether a Beaver, Cub, Scout, Explorer, Young Leader, volunteer Scouting. We're all there for one another. We're there when times are hard. We're there to listen, pick up the phone, say hello. And it's always about following Scouting. Let's not diss Scouting. Let's follow it and love it and promote Scouting in a good way. A Scout is friendly and considerate. Plain and simple, isn't it? Always try and do your best, be helpful, be smiley, and think about other people, not just putting yourself first. So putting your family and your friends, yeah? Look after them and they'll look after you. So be friendly and considerate. A Scout belongs to the worldwide Scouting family. So there are millions of Scouts. It changes every single day. At the moment, in 2020, this is the current number of young people in the worldwide Scouting. Huge number. So wherever we are, we know that we're not just on our own. There's always people around the world, all part of Scouting, and we're all one big family. Okay, so what does it mean as a family? We're there to look after each other. We're there when times are hard to listen, to speak, to encourage, to back them up. And there's always knowing that you're not on your own. There's always someone in the whole of the world that's going through what you're going through and also is having times of trouble. So you'll be able to call on those Scout leaders no matter where in the world. I've got friends who are Scouters in Canada, in America, in Australia, in Germany, in Spain, in Brazil. And I know that I can always depend on them and speak to them if I need some help or just have a chit chat. So don't forget, you're never on your own in Scouting. A Scout is courageous in all difficulties. So when times are hard, bear Bear Grylls, our Chief Scout, World Chief Scout Ambassador, has a motto that I use day in, day out. It's called never give up. So when times are hard, when things are going not quite to plan and you need a bit of resilience, because that's what Scout is all about, is being about resilience, you never give up, okay? Courageous means having self-respect and doing something that you might not do yourself, okay? So courageous being brave, having to fight something you're scared about, something that you're not happy about, but you'll always try and give it your best, okay? So it doesn't mean that you'll always complete it, but courage to try and do your best, to try and defeat that mental mind block, whatever it is, okay? So believing in yourself that you can always do it. And that's what Scout is all about, resilience. Number 6 on the Scout law, a Scout makes good use of its time and is careful of possessions and property. So instead of just sitting around as a Scout on Xbox or playing Minecraft or whatever you're doing, use that time wisely. So yeah, you can have some downtime and play the PlayStation, whatever, but don't play it for hours on end. Read a book, write something, learn a new skill, not just about knots. Learn something new that you can then pass on, okay? So don't just sit around on a sofa doing absolutely nothing. Use your time wisely. We do need downtime for our mental health, but just don't waste it. Life is short. A Scout is careful of possessions, so always looking after equipment, camping equipment. If you look after something, it will treat you well. It will be there for years to come and years to come. Let's not graffiti the place. Let's look after the world. Okay? Our surroundings at the moment, while we're doing this at the moment in 2020, we're ruining the world. So looking after an environment, recycling, reusing things. Don't just buy things for the sake of it. Don't buy cheap clothes because you got bored of this t-shirt and you throw it away for a week. Use it, recycle it. Pay a bit of money to get a bit of better quality. Yeah? So it's all about looking after our world and environment and property. If we break something, own up. No one's going to tell you off. Just own up and say, I broke the tent pole or whatever. It's a real annoying thing when you go camping next time and you find out that the tent poles are broken or something like that. You haven't cleaned the pots and pans. Just look after your own equipment. It's really, really simple. And look after your Scout scarf. This means a lot. And the last of the 7th Scout law is self-respect and respect others. So self-respect, have a bit of pride in yourself. Make sure your neck is nice, your hair is done, you're looking nice, you've had a bath, you brushed your teeth, your shoes are nice and shiny. Look up, respect. Shoulders back, be proud of who you are, okay? Sometimes life is rubbish. Sometimes life throws stuff at you. And you know what? You just got to dig in and say, actually, I'm not going to stoop to that level. I have self-respect. That means I'm not going to go and join that gang or say nasty words to my best friend or my parents or whatever. Yeah? Look after the people that are around you. Look after your family. Your mum, your dad, your relatives, your brothers, your sisters annoy you so much. They wind you up. My kids wind me up. But at the end of the day, I still love them and I respect them so much. I respect my family and my friends. I always have time for them. And as a Scout, that's what we need to do. So those 7 laws, the promise that we say every single week, think about it and try and do one of those every single day. Hope you enjoyed that, learning about what is the meaning behind the Scout promise and law. And I'll see you next time here on Big Man in the Woods. Don't forget, click the bell and subscribe to Big Man in the Woods and you'll find out all my future vlogs and more. In particular, what's the point of loving this series? Guys, take care. See you next time.